Hey guys, it's Indy, and today we're going to be doing some more r/entitled parents, where a lady insists that letting her kid drown will teach him how to swim. This literally just happened yesterday. I was at the pool with my auntie and my 4 little cousins. At said pool, there's a big pool, a medium, kid-sized pool, and a baby pool, all in-ground. My aunt was in the baby pool with my 2 baby cousins, and my 2 other cousins were in the medium pool. I was alone in the big pool swimming around. This pool has a rule that any child under a certain height cannot be in the big pool area, even if under the guidance of an adult. There was some toddler who was running around the pool ledge where he tripped on some sunglasses by the side of the pool and fell in. I was the only one who saw him, so I quickly swam over, picking up the flailing, crying child out of the water. He was sobbing, but I calmed him down and he said thank you. Seemed like a super sweet kid. I wondered where the heck his parents were, and why he was left alone in the pool area, which he wasn't even supposed to be in. I asked him where his mom was, and he showed me a lady who was tanning in a pool chair, not even paying attention to the child at all. I told her what happened, and the conversation followed through. He fell in? Yeah, but I saved him. He's okay. Why is he even well, why did you take him out of the pool? Because he was gonna drown? Kids his size can't even be in this pool. He is trying to learn to swim. This would have been a great opportunity and you messed it all up. If I didn't do anything, he would have drowned. Why weren't you watching him? He would have been fine if it wasn't for you. He was just playing around the pool. Well, kids his age can't even be a part of this pool. What are you talking about? I paid to be here. He can go to whatever pool he wants. Now, there were signs everywhere saying the rule of the height in children. Apparently, entitled people can't read. Points to the rule signs. Well, I never saw that. This isn't my fault. Those lousy lifeguards should have told me the rule. I then reported her to said lifeguard, and she was escorted out of the pool for harassment and neglect of her child, I guess. I then just went to the medium pool and chilled with my cousins. Other than that, my day was rather fun. Have a nice day, ladies. I myself used to be quite the swimmer, and I used to spend like all of my child years in the water. So believe me when I tell you that parents like this are a lot more common than they should be. They literally will just show up, drop their kid off, and then expect everything that happens after there to be under the supervision of the lifeguard. As if the lifeguard is like a paid babysitter or something, which they're not. They're there to watch the pool area, the water area, and make sure your life, remains intact. They're not there to watch your kids, especially when you just sit there tanning, probably face down, and can't even see the kid. I mean, if you were just gonna go there to tan and neglect your child, why did you even bring the child? This next post titled, "We're neighbors, so I can come into your garden." This is my first time posting, so I hope you enjoy. I have some annoying, crappy neighbors that are just one of a kind. They lived there ever since I was born, and they have this bratty kid. One day, I'm chilling in my garden, and this EK sees me, and I'm thinking, oh frick, because I am 100% antisocial. I say hi back, and he runs inside, so I'm thinking, great, he's gone. Boy, was I wrong. I looked up, and he was trying to break into my garden, shaking the gate. I go up to him and say, sorry, but you can't come in. This is my garden. Big mistake. Big freaking mistake. He starts screaming and crying, and QEM, what are you doing? Let my kid in. He just wants to play. Being a scared little 10-year-old back then, I opened it. He had a much better garden, so I don't know why he wanted to come in mine. This is where it starts to get out of hand. My little cousin came and I thought she could play with him, until he picks up a freaking pipe and hits her across the stomach with it. What the hell, kid? Why did you hit her? Go back home now. I screamed. My little cousin was crying on the floor, and this other kid started crying too. I don't want to, he said. I was so pissed, and I called for his mom. I had a feeling that his mom was a bee, and she was. She went on and on saying how she hated him after he went back inside. Although I hated him, that was her child. He's so violent, and it's just annoying sometimes, she said, and I was shook. As I said, I am socially awkward, and I just laughed it off. My little cousin was fine, but I never talked to that little boy ever since. So, I have my fair share of annoying kids in my neighborhood, but growing up as a kid, I wouldn't say that I was antisocial, because I was super, super active when I was really younger, but the more I started getting into my early teens, I just was yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of don't want to be bothered with any of them. Back to the annoying kids part. Sometimes you really just have to tough it out, because more often than not, since there are your neighbors, they're not going anywhere. So I don't really know. I don't really have any advice to give in this situation. I really don't. This next post titled, "Don't Mess with Grandma," aka Entitled Mom shames my mom for having a child at her age. The child was mine. So context. My son was born May 11th. We both had doctor's appointments, so I brought my mom along to have an extra set of hands. My name was called first. I had some things I wanted to talk to the doctor about seriously and didn't want to be distracted by the baby. So I decided to let Grandma keep Squish in the waiting room while I went in. This all happened while I was talking to the doctor, so it's all what I was told by my mom. Let's go. Cast, Squish, my wonderful baby boy. Grandma, my mom, Squish's grandma. Entitled Mommy Shamer, Karen. I just want to say I really like these names for the cast. But so after I left, Grandma was watching Squish while he played in his car seat. She was talking to him and playing too, and they were just overall minding their own business. The Karen and her daughter, who was an angel as Grandma said, stepped out of the elevator into the office. Grandma didn't pay attention to her, and her kid took a particular liking to Squish. She wanted to see him and hold his hand. She was very gentle with him. After checking in, Karen came over and sat across from Grandma and rolled her eyes. "Sweetie, come here. We don't know what kind of defects that baby has." "Excuse me? You're far too old to be having babies. Your child probably has a ton of defects, and I don't want my daughter to play with defective children." "Are you serious? Do you hear how incredibly crazy you sound?" "I'm not the crazy one. You waited too long, and now your baby is defective. That's why you're here, isn't it? Well, I hate to break it to you, but no doctor can fix your stupid mistake." "Listen, lady, this is my grandson, and I don't know who you think you are to tell me or anyone else when to have a child. You are not any sort of authority to me. I don't answer to you. The only one I answer to is God, and he doesn't take too kindly to people who judge others." From what Grandma told me, Karen's mouth hung open as Grandma went on with her rant. She quoted Bible verses like Matthew 7:1-2, Luke 6:37, basically saying that God was going to judge this lady hard for what she was saying. But my favorite part was how she ended her rant. "Now, I will forgive you for your judgment because I don't know what challenges God has put before you, but I hope you use this as a starting point to get yourself in check and figure out whether you feel the need to judge others in the first place." This went on for a while, with Grandma cutting off Karen anytime she tried to speak. By the time I got out of my appointment, things had settled, but you could have cut the tension with a knife. Karen, with her arms and legs folded, teary eyes, and a red face. While I think Grandma could have been a little less harsh, I know that her intentions were clear, and that God can forgive her, and hopefully Karen. I hope Karen finds peace in herself someday. I'm working on trying to come up with like a schedule for uploading, because right now I'm really just kind of trying to push out 1 or 2 videos a day. But I'm working on trying to get a more consistent schedule. So I definitely will keep up to date with that. But other than that, other than that, that's all for now. See you later. Bye.